What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit a million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try. What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit a million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
This is Mistakes in the Making.
Hey, I'm Spencer Glover, and I'm here to talk about mistakes. It's funny to be here talking about mistakes because it feels kind of anti to what we should be talking about. But for all those that are listening, I feel like there may be some value in just hearing the missteps that I had in getting to where I am now. A little bit about myself. I've been a filmmaker for, I guess, close to 10 years now. I did a little bit of everything from DP work to grip work to editing and now directing. And so currently I'm in Los Angeles. I just directed my first film for Disney, which has been really, really cool. And, being in this space, I've had a lot of moments of introspection, just sort of, looking back at myself and seeing the path that I've come across. And so many of the things that I did early on while I was making films, I still do now. I've refined the process and made it better. But there have been a lot of mistakes that I've made in the past that, all things considered, maybe better, but I'll try to unearth those traumas that I've been burying for the past 10 years on this journey. When I think about the films that I've made, I do realize that out of all of them, the passion for storytelling is always the thing that sort of immediately takes a hold of you. You want to make a film, you want to make it great. You've got good taste and you want to be able to take that thing that's in your brain and put it out there in the world. But how do you do it? And then you start looking up, YouTube videos, you start talking to people, you start trying to figure out how to piece it all together, and you don't know everything. And you try, but you'll fail most of the time. And I remember one of the early things, just even in the DP world, I was trying to learn how to light. And what I would do is just, watch, I think it was like Philip Bloom. He was big at the time on YouTube, and I would just pull up his stuff and and watch, all these videos and try to emulate exactly what he was doing in these clips. And, he would put it up and it would look great. And then you would try it and it just wouldn't look the way that he made it look. And I used to get so frustrated at myself because I wanted it to be perfect, right out the gate. And I guess the thing that I'm trying to get to is understanding that you're not going to be good starting out. You have great taste, you have great passion and ideas, but it's not always going to match up to that idea that you have in your head. And so learning to accept that earlier on in the process, it's really helpful because you can make the mistake early. You can make that thing and it can be wrong. It'll have glimpses of what you do really well. And it'll have glimpses of that magic and that thing that you've been chasing, but it won't all be there, and it's okay. And I think you have to learn to sort of protect your mind, but also your heart in that process, because if you get hung on, it's not perfect, then you won't make the next thing. And so for me, I used to get hung up a lot on making this 100% perfect piece of art, knowing that I didn't have all the resources, knowing that I didn't have all the tools available to me, knowing that I didn't have access to all the people. I would harp on it just not being exactly what I wanted it to be. I was so rigid in my thinking about how I made my films, my earlier films. And it hurt me a lot. You go into post and, there's this feeling of making a film. And you get this high from the shoot, right? You're like spending X amount of days with these people. You're in the trenches building these relationships, and you make a lot of new friends. You make a lot of great memories. And then most of the time you go off on your own and have to edit, this little film, and you have to edit it in a cave for the next, 2 or 3 months. And you plan to have money to do post, you plan to have money to do professional color and professional sound, and that money runs out. And then it's just you doing all of the things by yourself. That can be a weird spot because it feels like everyone is sort of abandoned the process. And thinking about one of my other films, Message Red, like we had really great goals to get, professional color and sound. And I was going to hire an editor, and we ended up using a lot of the money during production. Now the film turned out great, and I'm still very proud and very happy for that film. But, the post process was brutal. I was alone. I had to do, X amount of VFX shots on my own. I hadn't done any VFX shots before. I just had YouTube to look through to figure it out. I had to do color on my own. I had to do sound on my own. And it took, almost a year and a half for me to get it to a place where I felt really comfortable with it. And it was a brutal process. And so, I think over time, you sort of learn to manage your expectations. I'm not saying do crappy work. I think what I'm saying is have grace for yourself in the process. Understand that you will make mistakes and you will have missteps. It's not the end of the world. It really isn't. You do the best you can and you move on to the next thing. So there are a couple of quotes that have sort of stuck with me over the years. Actually, one that stuck with me over the years. But before I give you that one, I want to talk about one other that I watched recently or heard recently. And I was on Disney Plus. Shout out to Disney Plus. I was watching the documentary that they have done on the VFX company, ILM. And, it's talking to George Lucas, and it's talking about early Star Wars and that process. And it's really getting into the nuts and bolts of how they made it happen. And it was such a ragtag company that they formed to get those VFX shots done. And a lot of those folks had great experience in the industry, but also there were a ton of folks that just made VFX at home. You know, they took their, you know, Super 8 camera or whatever they had and shot a movie, you know, at home and pulled out great VFX. And they brought all these people together at ILM, and George Lucas had them, you know, work up the first initial VFX shots of, you know, the stormtroopers and the X-wing fighters flying through the sky and building these miniatures. And, you know, they show that whole process and they make, you know, the first Star Wars. And George Lucas, this is when he was younger, he pops up and he's talking about the film, how he's really proud of it and how he really loves it. And then he goes on to say, you know, you don't get to make the film you want, you get to make the film you can, given the circumstances. Now I'm paraphrasing what he says. He says it way better than I did, but it was really interesting to hear him say that, even at that age. I mean, he was in his 20s at that point. To hear him say that about Star Wars, that he himself doesn't even feel like he made the film that he wanted to make, but he did make the film that he could, given the resources, given the time. And he had millions of dollars to do it. But if you hear a filmmaker, an established filmmaker like that, say something like that, you should take the pressure. It should give you the confidence to take that pressure off of making that perfect thing. Make the mistake while you're making the film and get it down and perfect it the next time. And so the reason I bring up ILM is because 10 years of filmmaking for me, you know, Message Red, I do 100 VFX shots for my own film. And now with Disney, my current short film, Black Belts, I have ILM doing VFX shots for my film. And so it was kind of like a full circle moment, you know, for myself, nobody else, but it was cool to be able to see that journey and sort of piece together, just, you know, making those mistakes in Message Red and also in Konnichiwa Kid, one of my earlier films, you know, I had some VFX shots in there, but I'm able to speak to the great people at ILM and say like, hey, this is what I'm thinking in terms of this shot. Here's how I did it in the past. Like, is there something that's there that could be, you know, improved upon and taken to the next level? So it was really cool to have that moment. And the quote that I've held on to for a long time, I actually want to pull it up because I don't want to paraphrase it. It's such a great quote, and I think it's very meaningful. It's by Ira Glass. I'll just read it. It's kind of a long one, but I think there's a lot of good stuff in here, so bear with me. Nobody tells this to people who are beginners. I wish someone told me. All of us who do creative work, we get into it because we have good taste. But there's this gap. For the first couple of years, you make stuff. It's just not that good. It's trying to be good. It has potential, but it's not. But your taste, the thing that got you into the game, is still killer. And your taste is why your work disappoints you. A lot of people never get past this phase. They quit. Most people I know who do interesting, creative work went through years of this. We know our work doesn't have this special thing that we want it to have. We all go through this. And if you are just starting out or you're still in this phase, you got to know it's normal. And the most important thing you can do is do a lot of work. Put yourself on a deadline so that every week you will finish one story. It is only by going through a volume of work that you will close that gap, and your work will be as good as your ambitions. And so I've always held on to that quote, and it's gotten me through so many mistakes that I've made. I'm actually getting a little emotional reading that because it calls up a lot of memories and feelings that I've had, just, you know, films in the past that I struggled to make, and a lot of lonely journeys on a lot of these films. But that's filmmaking, you know, that's what we do. We have a story, we have a passion, we have a calling and something that we want to say. And you can't separate the mistakes from from the journey. It just doesn't work that way. You have to go through it in order to be good at it and to be great at it. So, yeah, I think that's what I want to share. And, yeah, just anybody, that's in this space now, know that you don't have to be perfect. Be yourself, get through that volume of work, and it'll get better every single time. So, yeah, I think that's what I got. Hopefully that helps you in your journey. I know I look a mess right now. I just woke up, but I was on set. That's why. So forgive me. But yeah, if you ever want to connect or reach out, talk, I'm on Instagram, spence.glover. You can find me on my website, spencerglover.net. All my work is on there. You can see all my mistakes. But yeah, keep doing your thing, keep pushing forward, make the mistakes, and we'll see you at the theater. Peace.
You've been listening to Mistakes in the Making. If you have your own mistake that you've made while in the film industry and you want to let others know so they don't make the same mistake, reach out to us at contact@bonsai.film and we'll take it from there. You can also reach out to us on social media @_Bonsai Creative on Instagram and Twitter. And you can search for us on YouTube and Facebook by searching for Bonsai Creative. You can also visit our website where we have industry insights and links to all of our podcasts and so much more at www.bonsai.film. And thank you for listening.
At Baker's Pharmacy, care is what's most convenient for you. Care is being here when you need us. We're open evenings and weekends. Care is helping you save more. Most insurance plans and discount cards are accepted at your local Baker's Pharmacy. Care is saving you time by managing your prescriptions online. You can request refills, check order status, and more. Care is convenience that works for everyone. Baker's, a world of care is in store. Services and availability vary by location. Age and other restrictions may apply. For coverage, consult your health insurance company. Visit the pharmacy or our site for details.